Welcome back to Autism Live. We are here with 17-year-old performer Cameron Day. He just graced us with a lovely monologue from Fences.
Yes.
But he is also a singer. We don't want to leave that out of it. And as we mentioned at the top, part of the reason why Cameron is here with us today is because he's so talented, but also we want a reference point for you that he also has a diagnosis on the autism spectrum. We don't want to make it about that, but I think our audience will be so inspired to see the kinds of things that you're doing knowing that.
Mm-hmm.
But we wanted to take a little bit of time to talk about, since you're here, about the high school years, because it can be a really rough time. And it can be a rough time for anyone.
Mm-hmm.
I only know one person that refers to their high school years and says, "Oh, what a wonderful time."
Yes.
And I gotta say, the rest of her life has been difficult because high school was good for her and easy for her because she was a cheerleader and everything else has been hard for her ever since.
Right.
Everybody else I know, high school was hard and other things in life have been easier than high school. So from the perspective of somebody who's in high school, what are some of the challenges that are really hard in high school?
Oh gosh. Well, for me, the junior year, actually, freshman and sophomore year weren't that hard for me because that was sort of like the beginning process.
Okay.
of high school education, because that's when they sort of more laid back on you and
not as much pressure.
Yes. And then once you get into the junior and senior years, that's when they really start to buckle down on you and say, this is what you need to do. We're gonna teach you how to do these certain things. But for me, I'm just I'm not trying to throw my teachers under the bus.
We're not throwing anybody under the bus this morning. But yes.
So teachers just want you to do well, and but sometimes some teachers aren't really great. They know what they're doing, but they can't really re-explain it to students sometimes.
Okay.
And for me, I really like a teacher that knows what they're doing and then can go back again and actually explain how they got it. So.
Yes. You know why part of the reason that the junior year is so hard,
yes.
right? Because it's what colleges look
at. It's basically the pinnacle of
Yeah, it's what everybody looks at. And I think I hope you're going to find that it gets, especially, there's the first half of senior year where it'll still be hard because you're getting in your applications and stuff.
Right.
Second half of the senior year is...
That's what I've heard.
It's a trip to Disneyland, and so to speak. So you're almost there.
Right.
You're at the end of the junior year, and
yes.
you have one more semester that will be kind of, but you're pretty much there.
Yeah.
But let's talk about socially,
okay?
Because there are some things about the social life of a high schooler that are, as we said, hard for anyone. And figuring out how to fit in is a tough road. Has theater helped you to be able to fit in?
Yes, and more importantly, it's really helped me to accept how things are, because a lot of times I think I'll think someone won't doesn't like me, and then I'll go back and just in reality, the future might not be so bright for them. But
okay, I see what you're saying. But do you find at your school that there are groups that it's okay, here are the kids who play sports, and here are the kids who
we don't
are
actually
artists?
We don't have
that.
We don't.
Oh, because you're at a school where it's all for the performing arts.
Yes, but there are some sports fans who do play basketball and are into sports and everything. But I usually stay within the people that like theater and the arts and everything.
Yes.
So.
And do you feel I feel like there's a certain amount of freedom. If you're with a group of people that are artists,
yes.
It means that you get to be unique.
Yes.
So do you feel like with your group of friends that you get to just be Cameron, and however Cameron shows up, they're going to accept?
Yeah.
Because I think that's one of the best gifts that a friend can do is look at you for who. Because I do think that for most people, high school is about fitting in. But if you belong to a group of artists,
Right.
maybe not.
And in reality, we're all people, and sometimes you might get along like one day and then
Yes.
but it's really because of the stress. Because during school, like a lot of my friends are like so stressed out because we have like a lot of assignments and everything. But like when we get to arts, we all come together as one.
Right.
And then we can all express ourselves the way we want to.
Yeah.
And really like make something pure and absolutely beautiful.
So, what do you want for the future? Like, what's in store for you? When you look forward, what are you thinking about?
Being a professional musical theater performer and actually going out and audition and because a lot of times for auditions you don't always get the gig.
Right.
That always happens all the time for all actors.
So you want to do musical theater,
Yes.
live theater.
Yes, and a little bit. And I do want to do TV. I just want to do like everything that has to involve like theater and like and everything in the theatrical world and everything.
Okay. So some television, some film.
Yeah.
You're open to the whole thing.
And movies too.
You're not above doing a commercial. Say you do a commercial.
Hey, I can do a commercial if they call me. I'm just
That's
like
right. Okay.
I'm just like I'm open for anything. So.
And so, do you feel like, are you gonna go directly from high school to performing, or are you thinking you're gonna go to college first?
I think I should go to college first just to get a little bit more rounded and like gain some more technique and like actually broaden that horizon more.
Yes.
And then after that, then we'll be ready.
Okay.
To
I love that.
take that on.
I'm a big fan of going to college. And
We should go to college, kids. So.
And I'm a big fan of going to college when you want to study performing arts.
Yes.
Obviously, I mean that's the thing that I'm a big fan of. But it doesn't mean that you can't still be working professionally
Right.
while you're doing that.
Because I've done some projects already. I actually did Where's the Love, the sequel to Where's the Love part by will.i.am and the Black Eyed Peas, and that was really fun to do.
And so you were in the music video?
Yes, I was in the children's chorus at the very end.
Oh, how wonderful!
And I was singing like throughout the video in the choir.
And so if there's parents that are out there that are watching, that are thinking about putting their kids in an acting class, what would you say to them?
Do it. Do it.
Has it helped you with your self-esteem
Yes.
and with social circumstances? And do you ever, I know that I was very shy as a kid. And so my parents put me into acting classes. And what I learned in an acting class was it didn't matter what I felt inside,
Yes.
that if I said a certain thing, stood a certain way, people would think that I wasn't shy. So I learned early on, okay, in this instance, I'm going to pretend that I'm not shy. Did you learn something like that that helped you to overcome any difficulties?
Well, actually, since I'm on the spectrum, like they said, I use those things to help me, actually like be able to go up on stage and have like, well, am I saying that correctly?
I don't. It's all your words. It does help you.
It does help you like be more open for whatever comes to you and actually be brighter and like.
So that in the moment you can react to what's happening instead of being rehearsed.
Yes, and
I love that.
And it also helps in the real world because like a lot of times a lot of kids who are on the spectrum are shy, so it really helps to like break them out of their shell and become like more open and like more personable.
Yeah, well, it has been so delightful to talk to you, and when I got to meet you earlier this morning, we immediately went right into conversations about all kinds of things, and it's clear that this is something that you're really passionate about.
Yes.
I think that you're doing a remarkable job. I think it's thrilling that you're here, and I know that it's been inspirational to people to see how, you know, you're living the dream. You're
Yes.
getting to do what you want to do. And that's what acting isn't going to be everybody's thing, but I would encourage everybody who's watching at least try putting your child in an acting class. See if it's something, even if they don't want to be a professional actor, I think it's something that's useful and helpful. And I can't wait to, you know, because I know that you're going to do really well. And then later on, when you're a big star, you have to be willing to come back and say that, you know, we had you on the show back when you weren't a big star, but that we recognized that you were going to be a big star. Is it a deal?
It's a deal.
Okay. Anything else you want to share with the folks at home?
And actually, one more thing. My family was actually didn't come from a theatrical background. They actually started in music because my dad and my mom were like big. Well, my mom was a backup singer, and my dad is still a professional singer right now.
So it's in the genes, you're telling me.
Yes.
This performing thing is very much in the genes.
And my brother is a singer as well.
Really?
Yes.
So it's sort of the family business.
Yes, basically.
You know what's wonderful about that is that they will understand your passion.
Yes.
And they won't think that you're crazy for wanting to do this.
Yes.
And that's a gift, because not everybody gets it.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that, and I got a chance to meet your mom, and she's a pretty remarkable woman. So they're very supportive of everything that you're doing.
Very. Even though you
don't throw her under the bus. We got all this far. Don't throw her under the bus.
I won't.
This point. We can't have that. I said to him, no throwing your mom under the bus. And you wouldn't have anyway.
I would
She's a fabulous person.
Yes.
But I interrupted you. You wanted to say something.
Even though like the theater industry there does get it gets stressful a lot, and like sometimes you get a little frustrated, and like sometimes you just say, okay, my life is over, I'm done with this. And I've had that a few times, and like where I haven't felt that supported that much, but I know deep down inside that I still am. So that's
yes. Well, you know, we always do a jargon term of the day, and our jargon term today was perseverating. But I do think that to be able to be successful in acting, you have to persevere. And I will tell you that you can have a whole bunch of people who are surrounding you and supporting you and doing whatever. But if you don't believe it in yourself, then it won't matter, because it doesn't matter. Every single actor who is wildly successful has been turned down a million more times than they got the job.
Yes.
And they had to be able to get past that. And not everybody can, but if you can, I think you'll be wildly successful. We'll put that mojo on you. Thank you so much for being here with us today, and we'll look forward to having you back again sometime soon.